Obviously, is going to start here pretty soon, and the season, before you know it's going to be here on March 26th. So it's only that month or so. Which team, in your eyes, let's take one in each league, which team, in your eyes, actually needs to build a little momentum, stay healthy, and spring training, which normally is not important, is very important for what franchise in each league? Let me hear. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I look at the National League. I think that for Milwaukee Brewers, I like the Brewers better than you do, I think, and I like them better than I think other teams do. I love the pitching that they have. I like Jesse Winker's addition there. I think they've added some offense into the mix, and so I think the Milwaukee Brewers are a team. This is a winnable division. The Cardinals, I think, are the team to beat, but they've got issues. And oh, by the way, the Cardinals have everybody going to the WBC, and so they're going to take some time to get some momentum and build that. No Pujols there, some difference in that club. A lot of the star players not going to be there. So I think Milwaukee certainly is one of those teams in the National League. And I think in the American League, I think the Angels are a team. Look, Houston and Seattle are the best teams in the West. There's no doubt about that. I don't know what to believe about the Angels, and I think that they need to believe in themselves. That's going to be more important than what anybody else thinks. The pitching is going to be critical there. I think the Angels need momentum, not only for us, but for themselves to truly believe that they can be a playoff team this year.
All right, if you're a GM or a manager, are you okay with losing a lot of your roster to the WBC? Sometimes you got to ramp up early and then come back, calm down, and ramp up again. That sometimes can be a little dicey. I know it's good for the sport, but for your team, if you're a GM, you're for it or against it? Let me hear.
So it's interesting. I'm all for your players playing in the WBC. I didn't really love mine to have to play there. I wouldn't want mine, but I would certainly let them. I think it's the best thing for baseball overall. But when it comes to building a team and building chemistry and building momentum, it's really hard. We've got this many guys out there. But, you can't win a division in April, but you can lose it in April. And so I would prefer to have momentum and everything. That being said, I think the best interest of baseball is the World Baseball Classic. I think it's a great event. But it's a tough one, and I really would work and challenge my staff to make sure we're doing a lot of team building when we do get everybody back together again.
We'll discuss this further down the road. Your thoughts on a balanced schedule, and some teams are going to be doing a lot of traveling because they got, basically 4 or 5 less series that are close by, and they got to add them into the mix. So it's going to be a scenario there. I get the idea, but, Seattle, Miami are going to be traveling all over the world here for 6 months of the year. Thoughts with that for a sec. Let me hear. Go ahead.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, I'm for sure. Seattle's already the toughest team to play for. Every road trip is a tough road trip for them. And I look, players even recognize when they decide to go there what that's going to be like and the wear and tear on their body and everything else. Now you're adding it in to more travel with that too. I think the other part of it is, divisional races. When you think of the wild card, that teams are not going to be able to beat up anymore on the weak teams in their division nearly as much, in the central divisions mostly, and you're going to have to play some of the better teams. And so there is a bit of an advantage for the teams in the coast, because the Midwest used to beat up on those weak teams and give them a better chance at a wild card. I think it's going to balance that out a little bit too. So I think there's a lot of factors coming into play with this that aren't readily and obviously obvious to everybody, the impact of that. And so I'm with you. I think the travel aspect of it and the competitive balance aspect of it too is going to play when it comes to the playoff races.
Well, Javier gets a nice contract with the Astros, and a little bit like Atlanta, they'd be able to get these guys signed for, I think, below market value because of their organizational strength and how well they are run. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, Dana Brown, general manager now for the Astros, coming over from Atlanta, where Alex Anthopoulos has done it better than everybody else, taking the young players, locking them up, getting cost certainty, getting roster certainty too. And so Javier, a guy that I don't even think the Astros knew what they had a couple years ago. He was always the swing man, sometimes starting, sometimes in the bullpen. He's also the most unfazed pitcher ever. I mean, he's part of a no-hitter in the World Series. This guy never looks bothered by anything. He just goes about his business, has tremendous stuff, repeatable delivery, and I think it's a great move for the Astros. Look for them to try to do Framber Valdez next, potentially Hunter Brown a year from now, the replacement for Justin Verlander there. And Dana Brown's talking about trying to extend Alex Bregman and Jose Altuve, keeping that core together, getting cost certainty, which is so important because it gives you an idea how to build your team around those key main players on your roster.
All right, let's go back to the initial introduction. I know that's luck, but how'd you come up with 38-35 Kansas City? Let me hear.
Yeah, you know what it is, Chris, is Patrick Mahomes and I have a real connection. You know, he was in my Mets clubhouse back in the day, his dad pitching for me. So, you know, we've had this sort of symbiotic thing all along. I don't know that he knows it, but I know it. And so, like, I've got a real feel for what he's going to do. And at halftime, I was convinced, I was doubling down on the Chiefs at halftime. They were going to come back. He always does it. And so it is sort of that bond that Mahomes and I have together that led me to that prediction.